Hey guys, welcome to Car Academy. In this series of video, we are looking into CS3251 Programming in C of Anna University Regulations 2021 curriculum. This is not particularly meant for students of Anna University but for anyone willing to learn C programming. In the last video, we learned about the applications of C, structure of the C program, and in the previous videos, we learned how to develop C programs in VS Code. Today, I'm going to teach about writing C program in a Linux environment. I've chosen Ubuntu Linux for this particular experiment. So, in order to write the C program, you can use some editors like VI or Emacs. For this particular video, I'm going to use VI editor. So you have to give a program name. I'm going to give something like hello world.c for this program. So let me go and write. So I'm going to write exactly the same program that we wrote in VS Code. So initially we will have the preprocessor directives has include stdio.h, and then here you basically write the function. Every C program should have a main function. Let's first write welcome to Car Academy. Okay, so let's not put the \n. Let's learn about few tricks here. Let's not write \n and see what happens here. So in order to compile this program, you use a compiler called GCC. You give the hello world.c file name, and you can also give the output file name. If you don't give the output file name, it will create a file name called a.out. So let me first compile. If you don't have any errors, it will not, you just see the Car Academy, or in your case you will get the folder name. So you can run this program by typing /hello world, and you can literally see here welcome to Car Academy, and then this prompt printed immediately after that without a new line. That's because we did not put \n. Now let's go and modify this program. Let's add \n here. So as soon as you add \n, you will have to compile this program again, GCC, and then now let's run again. Now you can see welcome to our academy in a separate line, and you see the command prompt in the next line. Okay, now let's go further. Let's learn more about this hello world.c. So what we have done is we wrote a main function with void. Now let's change this to int main. A function can also return a value. For now, let's return 0 here. So in case what happens is, if you just return 0, gcc hello world.c, and I'm going to give hello world /hello world welcome to Car Academy. Okay, now let's go. So you can also see what I have here. So I have hello world.c. There are a few other programs, but let me delete everything else so that okay, so now we just have hello world.c. I'm going to tell you a trick here. So while compiling, if you just give -S or -S, in that case, what happens is it creates a new file called hello world.s. Now let's take a look at the contents of this hello world.s. So it's basically converted our C program into assembly language, and you can see the string that we defined in the hello world.c program, welcome to Car Academy. If you change the message, basically the string will get modified. Okay, so this is something that the compiler generated. So if you write some other program, you can literally see the assembly language of the processor that you are compiling into, or that you are trying to execute this program. Okay, so in this case what happens is I'm running this program in a x86 processor. So these instructions are x86 instructions. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so now let's try to return something else. Instead of 0, 0 means a program has successfully executed. What that means is the program did not run into any errors, so it just executed successfully. Now let's try to return -1 and see what happens. So gcc hello world.c. Now I'm not giving the file name, output file name with dash o. Let's see. So in this case, what happens is a file name with name a.out will be created. You can run a.out, and this return -1 is basically read by the operating system. In this case, it did not throw any error, but the operating system learned that something happened to our executable, and it just note down certain things in its own log. We'll see what happens. So at least here I'm not able to see anything here, but in real scenarios you will see that the program has run into some errors. Okay, so let's continue. So in the hello world.c, I'm going to, so let's just return 0 here. I'm going to create a compilation error here. So if you don't put a semicolon here, let's see what happens. So gcc hello world.c. Now see, it says there's a error, expected semicolon before return. It says, okay, before this return, you should print a semicolon or you should type a semicolon here. Okay, so it is expecting a semicolon. So it's basically giving you hints about what you should do in order to fix this error. So I'm placing the semicolon again back and making sure by compiling it again. Now I don't see the error. Okay, now let's continue further. Let's do hello. Okay, hello \n. Let's see what gets printed. gcc hello world.c. Now dot slash. So now you see welcome to Car Academy in one line and hello in another line. Now let's go and modify that. Okay, now what we will do is we'll put \b instead of \n. Let's see what happens now. /a.out. Okay, now you can see there is something called hell here. Okay, not hello. Now let's go and modify this program again. Now let's add \n after \b. Compile this program, run this program. Now you still see hello. Okay, now what we will do is after the \b, let's put something else. Let's put a minus here. Now compile the program, run again. Now you see instead of hello, it printed hell and then a minus. Okay, so what that means is a \b is basically a backspace. Okay, it erases one character or deletes one character and prints the next character on top of it. Okay, so it erases o and then prints minus here. So \b, all these all these characters that starts with backslash are called escape sequences. Now you might be wondering how to print backslash in the output. Okay, so usually what happens is backslash is basically used for some escape sequences like \n, which is basically used to print the text in a new line. Okay, but how to print the backslash in the output? Okay, now we are going to learn about that. Print backslash. Okay, so in order to print backslash, you have to type double backslash. Okay, when you type double backslash, it prints one backslash in the output. Now let's go and check that. You see print backslash, there is only one backslash printed here. Okay, even though we type two backslashes, it printed only one backslash here. Okay, so the thing to remember is basically if you define your main function as int, you should return an integer variable, return integer value. If you define your function as a void main, you don't have to return anything, but it's always good to return a value to the operating system. It's always good to define the function as int main instead of void main. Okay, So that is about this program. And also remember that all the statements in the C program will have to end with a semicolon. If you don't put a semicolon, we have already seen that the compiler will throw a compilation error. Okay, we learned about what is backslash n, when should you use it, why it is used. Yeah, so we also learned about using a new editor. If you don't know how to use the vi editor, basically vi give a file name, and then in order to start typing you have to press the key I. That way you will see this insert here at the end. Okay, what that means is now you can go and type whatever you want, and once you completed typing, press escape and then press colon. You can see here at the bottom colon and then WQ. Okay, W is for write and Q is for quit means close this editor. So write means if you don't type W, this program will not be saved to the disk. Okay, now I'm saving, which is W, and also closing this editor. If okay, before I show you that, if I just type colon W and then enter, it will only save. So it says return. Okay, if you want to write as well as close this editor, type colon WQ and it will close. Now you can do hello world dot c, hello world dot slash hello world. Okay, so you get the output. Yeah, we also saw how to basically get the assembly language output using the GCC. So GCC is the compiler. If you want to learn more about GCC, you can just type GCC dash help. It'll print multiple options for GCC. Or if you want to learn more about GCC, you can also say man GCC. This is basically the manual for GCC. GCC is nothing but GNU Project C and C++ compiler. You can read the description here. So once you have completed, you can press Q to close that manual. Yeah, so that's about it. If you like this video, subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends. Along with this video, I'm also going to teach a lot about image processing, signal processing using C programming. So not just going to learn the theoretical C programming, you're also going to see, or you're going to learn how C programming can be used in various complex projects. Okay, so stay tuned. Bye guys.